Okay, so this is like the third time I'm having to record this. The first time the footage I was not happy with the audio, and then the second time I was satisfied, and then the file got corrupted and I couldn't salvage it, and I'm having a good night. Anyway, it has been a week and a half since I finished my Persona 3 Reload coverage over on Game Explain, and while I love that game, I am so happy to move on from it because I've been dying to go back and play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And so far, I'm a little over halfway. I'm on chapter like 9 or 10. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I like it a lot. It's really, 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 really good. In fact, it's so good, I'm planning on doing it is a good game on it. Not just in impressions, I mean a full review. And of course, it's gonna take some time. In fact, by the time it comes out, it'll probably be like 3 or 4 weeks after the game originally came out. I don't care. I've done some kind of video on every single Yakuza game since Judgment because I love this series and because Is a Good Game would not exist without Judgment. So yeah, I kind of feel this need to cover every single one of these in some fashion. But as an aside, I need to apologize to Sega and by extension Atlus. You know, Sega owns Atlus. They're kind of the same thing. But I need to apologize to them. Reason for this is in the weeks leading up to Like a Dragon and Persona 3 releasing, I repeatedly kept asking the same thing. What are they doing? What are they doing? Why are they releasing these two massive JRPGs within a week of each other? This is clearly going to hurt the sales of one or both of these games. Both are turn-based JRPGs from Sega with a focus on emulating real life within the gameplay, as well as featuring over 70 hours worth of content to explore. Stylistically, they are very different, yet ultimately they're aiming for the same crowd. Turn-based JRPG fans who really like Japanese day-to-day life. Now, I know there are diehard fans of both of these series that are gonna buy the new entry no matter what. But in terms of the casual fans and the mainstream, there's no real guarantee that they would buy both. $70 is also a lot to ask. A number of people online continually complain about the recent price increase for games across the board. Some people likely are only able to afford one of these two games. So there's a lot of reasons to not put these games within the span of a week of each other. Why not let them breathe and stand on their own as unimpeded as possible? Well, there's a very easy answer for this, but it only really answers half of it, but it's the elephant in the room. So let's get it out of the way. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It releases at the end of February. That game is going to destroy everything around it. It's smart to get both Persona and Like a Dragon as far away from it as possible. I don't care what any one of you have to say or what arguments you can present. Neither title would be able to stand up against Final Fantasy VII. Maybe if it was, maybe if it was a spin-off Final Fantasy, or maybe if it was a different numbered Final Fantasy, but it's not. It's Final Fantasy VII. It will devour the sales of both of those games and leave nothing but the diehard fans buying it. Casual fans and the mainstream wouldn't give them the time of day if Final Fantasy VII was on the shelf right next to it the day both of these games came out. But still, why release them right next to each other? Why not release Like a Dragon 8 earlier in January? Give it at least 2 weeks to be the newest JRPG on the block before Persona 3 comes along and is like, hey, now I'm the new one, come by me. I didn't understand what Sega was doing, and to be totally honest, even now I don't really understand the logic behind why they did things the way they did. But let's jump to a week after Like a Dragon releases, which is actually the same day that Persona 3 Reload released, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about LAD 8. Sega announced that LAD 8 sold over 1 million units in its first week, making it the fastest selling game in the series. In fact, RGG Studios is so happy with these sales numbers that they announced a celebratory t-shirt pack to mark the occasion. It has like 6 in-game shirts plus more. We don't know what that more is. It's free. We haven't heard anything about it since they announced it. Apparently it was thrown together super late, and it's gonna take a minute to actually put it in the game, so hopefully it releases while I'm still playing the game and I can actually like use it. Some of those shirts actually look pretty cool. I'd actually like to buy one of them, but oh well. So once this was announced, I was left wondering, damn, what might this mean for Persona 3 Reload? Could this mean Like a Dragon 8 ends up being the winner of these two, and P3 ends up taking the hit? What could it mean? We want to know what it means? It means jack shit. A week after release, Atlus announced that Persona 3 Reload sold over 1 million units in its first week, making it the fastest selling in the series, as well as the fastest selling in company history. Not just Persona, literally everything Atlus has ever done, this sold faster and better than it. It sold what SMT5 was able to sell in like, what, a couple of months? And that's not bad. Not saying 1 million is easy or anything. No. It's just, it's insane. Holy wow, I was so damn wrong about these games on all fronts. I was confident one of these was going to be hurt by the other. So I'm just kind of left wondering, what happened? Why did these games do so well? Because, like, I'm not an industry analyst. I don't know how these things work. I don't know why Sega was so confident. Clearly, they were right to be confident in releasing these games right next to each other. But, like, I'm left wondering, what happened? What did I do wrong? What was wrong with my thinking? And why did people buy these things? Why did they buy them to the effect that both are seeing franchise and company-wide success? Maybe I underestimated the power of these fan bases. Maybe there's more diehard fans than I thought. Maybe there's more overlap between these two series, and they're willing to buy any new entry in either of them. Maybe, like, they'd be willing to fork over $140 within the span of the week just to get both of them. Maybe, I actually do know this, I did hear some stories of some people who bought Infinite Wealth and then just barreled through it just so they can finish it in time for Persona 3 Reload. Maybe that happened more than just like the 1 or 2 instances that I heard. Maybe I undervalued the differences between the two, because both of them, they are very similar. You know, they are, I don't want to say Japanese life sims, because, you know, that's kind of true, but not really. Like a Dragon, it's more of like an actual sim, where you actually you actually go to a restaurant and you get to pick what food you want to make, or what food you want to eat. I mean, you don't make the food. You actually, when you go play baseball, you actually go play baseball. There's a mini game associated with it. If you want to go and deliver food, you actually go and deliver the food. Whereas with Persona, it's more of a visual novel. You know, people have called Persona a visual novel, and I mean, they're not exactly wrong, but, you know, what happens when you go to get food, it's you pick what restaurant you want to go to, and then it doesn't really give you an option of what food you want. It's just like, fade to the black. You went to the restaurant. Good job. Points. And like, that's it. Persona's more focused on the actual relationships with these people. So maybe that is why some people see it more differently. One difference between Persona and Like a Dragon is that Persona tends to focus more on the individual relationships between you and the other characters. You know, it's a dating sim, for lack of a better word. It's more about talking with these people and seeing their story, and there's way more of a focus on that. Whereas Like a Dragon, it does have that. You got drink links. You know, you still talk with people and you get to know them and you get to learn more of their story, but that's not the main focus. Whereas with Persona, it is massive focus. It is as big of a focus as the actual dungeon crawling and the normal combat gameplay, whatever. Maybe what these series value is more of a difference than I was actually giving it credit for, or at least people value those differences more than I thought. Maybe the $70 price tag isn't actually that big of a deal, despite the constant yelling online. Maybe the people online, they're like whiny piss babies who just want to whine and cry and stuff. I'm not trying to make fun of them or anything. If you feel that way, that I totally understand. I'm just trying to play into a joke, you see. But I don't know. Maybe a week is more than enough time between two major releases. I don't know. I can't be the only one who thought that this release schedule was going to hurt one or both of these games. I can't be the only one who was wrong here. Like, I don't know. I just wanted to like talk about this and just I don't know. I'm so happy these games are doing so well. I am not upset in the slightest. I'm just kind of baffled. I was just like, the cynic in me just couldn't let me see this in a good way. And I was wrong, and I'm glad I was wrong, but I don't know. There's like, what happened? What happened here? I will say, even if I was wrong here, I am still confident and will not back down over the idea that Final Fantasy VII would have destroyed both of these games. The only thing that Final Fantasy VII might not be able to destroy is like maybe Madden, and that's because sports games fans are just like an entirely different species from like everyone else who plays video games. Like I don't understand Madden and like all of these other series. I don't know. Nothing would have survived Final Fantasy VII, and I will stand by that. I will fight you on that. I don't care. But hey, again, maybe releasing these things within a week of each other, maybe that's actually more time than I was really giving it credit for. It's not like they released on the same day or anything. But yeah, am I alone? Did you also think I was crazy? Do you want to yell at me about how like I just rambled and like didn't make sense of anything? Because I always feel like when I do this kind of thing where I just type up bullet points and just kind of like talk without a script, I always feel like I'm rambling and not actually making any sense. Maybe do you want to yell at me about how this video could have been 5 minutes? I don't know. Go to the comments. It helps me a lot. It helps with the traffic and stuff. Also, while you're down there, check out my Patreon. You get videos 24 hours early. I have that Like a Dragon 8 review coming, and that's gonna be available on my Patreon a day early for my patrons. It's little as $1. You can go for it. Come on, do it. If you don't want to do that, like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of that review coming. Haha. And yeah, you guys. I'm just, man, I just want to play more Like a Dragon, man. This game is so freaking fun. What the hell is a Grand Blue? Run, run, run.